Welcome to the So You Wanna Get Fat podcast. I am your host, not your typical chef, Brian Tso, and today with me is my little soup dumpling, my little French onion soup dumpling, Frenchy. What's up, buddy?
So happy to be here.
You're happy to be here? We have not seen each other since last week. Yeah, last week.
Thursday?
Yes. Today's
Okay, so
Tuesday.
it's less than a week.
Less than a week, yeah.
Oh, you
But
miss me so
Thursday
much.
is last week.
Well, it
This is
seems
this
long
week.
because the bebe didn't call you.
Yeah. Normally you and the bebe
FaceTime.
FaceTime me on the weekend. I get to see you at least one time during the weekend, and you didn't call. I was the piss off.
Bring it up with Evie. I know, not my problem.
On today's Meat and Potatoes, we check out Chinese food in America, a brief history. This is an awesome channel I have just discovered called Mental Floss. And I think the history of Chinese food in America is fascinating to begin with and fucking delicious. Who cares if it's authentic or not? Doesn't need to be authentic to be delicious.
I would
Unless
say
it's Jamie Oliver's food. But
I would say that Chinese food is older than Italian American food.
pick up a Jamie olive oil t-shirt. Link in the description below, or a RIVAGE t-shirt. Link also in the description below. I wouldn't know for sure. Didn't the Chinese first start coming into the Americas in the late 1800s? Something like that?
Mhm.
I could be wrong. But I think that's like the first wave of Chinese immigrants to America. I'm not sure.
By way of San Francisco.
Yes, by way of San Francisco. Yes. I hopefully maybe they'll cover it in this video. Anyway, stay tuned for that. And let's see. Frenchy,
Yes.
where are we?
340 West 46th Street, New York, 10036 for all those postcards, swag, art that we're not getting.
No, not getting.
Where's the love?
I don't know. I think
Is it because I don't read the comments?
I think so. I think it's because you're not getting angry in the comments and angry boomer posting.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
All right. Let's see. What's been going on, buddy? It was Mission Sandwich, 326 Bedford Ave. I gotta shout out my own place every
Shit,
now and
I
then.
gotta get a hat.
Yeah.
I got a Le Rivage hat.
Yesterday, as of filming this video, or the day before yesterday, it was May the 4th.
Yeah.
May the 4th.
It's a
be with
double
you.
day for me.
Why?
You know.
Ozersky.
Yeah.
Oh, Ozersky. Look up Ozersky. He is a
Sasha Zersky.
yes, famed
Famed
food lover.
food writer.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Well, I would like
He
you
did it on purpose. Because we were both big fans of Star Wars,
Oh.
like super fans.
So you
So he purposely died on May the 4th.
you think he purposely had a brain aneurysm?
He's
or
like,
anything?
he tried to spite me. Or he just wants me to think of him forever.
True. Yeah, there's that.
No, I do miss him.
You and Ozersky were very tight. Rest in peace, Ozersky. But I want you to know you've been telling me to watch Andor.
Oh,
And I
it's so
started
good.
Andor this weekend.
It makes up.
Yeah, why is the gap of the quality gap of Andor and everything that that Star Wars Disney has done? Why is that gap so big? Let us know in the comments below. Do we have any other fans out there of Star Wars? Let us know. Yeah, I was
Well, they're
also,
treating it like a serious drama,
yeah, it is. Like I forget.
a thriller. It's like a thriller.
It's a thriller. I forget that I'm watching Star Wars
Yeah.
when I watch Andor. And it's clearly Star Wars because there's
But
floating
the
vehicles.
set,
and
but the
shit.
set designs and everything is just
Again,
insane.
know-
And you think it's green screen, but they're walking into them.
Yeah.
It's massive.
it's crazy.
It's massive.
It's super cool.
It's
super
very good.
I've taken some time off. I've been chilling out. I told you.
Wait, you have
during-
time to take off?
Not really.
Oh,
But when I say taking time off means that I haven't been going to any rock concerts. I haven't been going out drinking. You know,
yeah. You know, I'm not drinking anymore.
yes, I'm not drinking anymore. Even though we said on a recent episode of Pro Chef Reacts or this podcast, we were saying we should go 1 for 1 in the past. Like watch ourselves drink and keep up with it. But no, I feel great. Ever since I cut the booze a week ago, I've been sleeping so much better.
No, it was Chuck's birthday Friday, so
Oh, yeah.
we party hard. It was
You
rough.
oh,
Saturday morning was rough.
Like there's a trivium show tomorrow. I'm not going just because I know I'm gonna be out late. I'm gonna drink. And it's not like I have a booze problem either. It's just even 1 or 2 drinks before
That's what
bed.
alcoholics say. I don't have a drinking problem.
Well, having 2 drinks every day, 7 days a week adds up by the end of the week. And you don't sleep good for 7 days out of the week. I was feeling dog doo-doo. And I just needed to simplify because I'm already a busy man. So, yeah, I've been feeling great.
Good for you.
I'm trying to get Frenchy to join me on this.
But I did it for a while, and I felt, and I told you it feels good.
It feels good.
But it was Blondie's birthday, then it was Chuck's birthday. I mean, there's always an excuse to party. But
well, so for me, that was a month and a half ago when Amy Ernst, took a different position at Mission where I had to take upon more shifts. So I was having more after shift drinks.
That's when you really should be slowing down.
Yes, I know, but I was
like, oh, I need this.
Yeah, I need this.
Oh, I need this.
And of course, I developed a friendship with the bartender. So,
oh no, you don't have a drinking problem.
So he would give me a free whiskey, neat, a really nice whiskey before I go, and then
tell me the way to the next whiskey bar.
Show me the way to the next whiskey bar.
And then I had friends and family in town. And when I say friends, like friends I haven't seen in 10, 15 years.
Oh, we got to drink now.
Yeah, we got to drink now.
Got to drink now.
Yeah, I was feeling it. So anyway, I'm trying to get Frenchy to join me on my, I don't know. I'll see how long this goes for.
Well, we're going to be put to the test in just a few hours.
I know, right? We're going to have dinner downstairs. And what's funny is last week on Thursday when I joined, I don't remember, but I joined you at the table. Every server came to me and said, like, saw me without a drink and said, Chef Brian, would you like something to drink? I'm no. And they're like, are you sure? And then Timo came to the table and he saw me without a drink. He's like, Chef Brian, is someone getting you your drink? I'm like, no, actually, I don't want a drink tonight. And then another server, just everyone was thrown off that I wasn't having a drink.
Nah, you don't have a drinking problem.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Pick up a Jammy Olive Oil t-shirt. Now available on the merch store. All right. Limited time. This design is a limited time because I have a new design in the works.
Oh, yeah?
Same thing, Jammy Olive Oil, but I don't want to give it away. But
Le Rivage is not on the same web thing. It's
but I put your website's shop link in the description below. Don't worry, I got you covered.
What is it? It's Le Rivage and
don't worry, links in the description
Le
below.
Rivage NYC.
Yes. And don't pick up a bottle of Gochujang
A l'orange.
Gochujang
A l'orange.
Don't pick up a bottle of this because then you're an asshole.
And where's the ready?
Yeah. Blink once. Blink once. And I want to shout out our buddy DZM Graphics. I want to show this one more time. He made this ad for us. Very nice. Lost becomes Blink Once hot sauce, baby. Link in the description below. Now, just to let you know, this hot sauce is available via Silent Pendulum Records. That is the label that Lost Becomes is signed on to. That's where Lost Becomes merch is available. So make sure you pick up a bottle of that. Shout out to DZM Graphics. And then finally, before we go on to the meat and potatoes of today's episode, I want to mention that this podcast is available in its undisturbed entirety, always on Spotify with video. Yes, you can stream us on Apple Podcasts.
Exactly like Rogan.
Yeah. But we are available on video, with video on Spotify, undisturbed. And you can watch often on YouTube we get demonetized, so we have to clip out certain segments.
Are we still getting demonetized?
all the time?
Wait, what's going on?
It's been that way for a while, but we clip it out and we can monetize again. What I'm saying to the audience is you can watch the unedited version on Spotify. Okay, guys. And guess what? So is Pro Chef Reacts is also available on Spotify with video. Okay, so check that out. And with that said, headphones on. And let's watch the meat and potatoes of today's episode. All right.
Show me the way to the next whiskey bar.
Zhao Tsiangtong was a Hunanese military leader during the Qing dynasty. He led several successful military campaigns, but today,
Wait, it just starts like
most
that?
people know him for a chicken dish involving nuggets of fried meat coated in a sweet and spicy sauce. Though General Tso's chicken was named after Tso, he didn't invent it. In fact, when chef Peng Cheng Quan
It's pronounced Zuo, but anyway, close.
I developed an early version of the recipe in Taiwan around 1955, Tso had already been dead for 70 years. Peng named the dish after the war hero because they both hailed from Hunan. It never caught on there, but today you can find General Tso's chicken on thousands of menus across North America. Why are so many Chinese food dishes more at home in strip malls abroad than they are in China? What does Chinese food even mean for a country so vast and culinarily diverse?
Well, we
Open
don't
your
throw a
takeout
bag of
containers
sugar
and
in
break apart
China,
your
right?
disposable
Wait, what?
In China, they don't throw a whole bag of sugar into the recipe.
No. Not at all. And listen, they've never, you go to China, they don't know what the fuck General Tso's chicken is. They may now because of the internet, but yeah, generally they don't know what the fuck it is.
chopsticks. Today, we're digging into the cuisine of the Chinese diaspora, from the birth of Chinese food in America to a new generation of immigrants who are reevaluating what Chinese food outside of China can be.
Do we know this guy?
Nope, first time reacting to him.
I'm Justin Dodd. Welcome to Food History. Do you know what the fourth most populous city in China is? It's got about a millennium of history and more people living in it than New York City, so you might think it'd be common knowledge. The answer is
Yunnan.
Tianjin, but don't feel too bad if that didn't immediately spring to mind. I had to look it up
Northern
too.
China.
Maybe
Tianjin
we
is
should both
northern
feel
China.
bad. Let's just all buy almanacs.
Is it
the
closer
cuisine
to
of
the
Tianjin
ocean?
is renowned in
Yes,
China.
it's a port city. Very
Okay,
famous
that's why.
port city. And it's south of Beijing.
It boasts of famous banquet dishes like the 8 Great Bowls and humbler yet still beloved snacks like goobly baozi, a type of stuffed steam bun with the name translating to something like "even dogs will not pay attention to it." As a port city, seafood
idea
plays a
what that is.
prominent part in Tianjin's food scene. There are also long-standing influences from European cuisine thanks to a treaty foisted on the region in the aftermath of the Opium Wars more than 150 years ago. I'll venture a guess that most people living outside of China have never thought about Tianjin cuisine, with the obvious exception of some Chinese immigrants, and a hat tip to the food writer Robert Sietsma, who did profile the growing number of New York restaurants representing Tianjin in a
Okay,
piece
I'm doing
we've
it.
linked to below.
Doing what?
You know what I'm doing.
Doing what?
You know what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing.
I'm looking at him again.
Oh no! What?
Because he lost me with his gibberish.
What physical feature are
Oh,
you
no,
zeroing
no,
in
no,
on?
no,
now?
no, we go. Move
It would
along.
probably seem strange to an American to lump bagels, barbecue, and lobster rolls into one big American food bucket, and yet that's often how we approach the food of a country with more than 4 times our population. Jason Wang is the owner and operator of Xi'an Famous Foods, a restaurant chain based in New York that
I
focuses
love
on the
Xi'an
food
Famous.
of his family's original hometown in northwest China. In building their company, Jason
Have we
and
been
his
to one?
No, you and I haven't been.
That's
to
not
one
the one.
together.
That's not the one on 10th on 9th.
No, that's Nanxiang Xiaolongbao. That's
No, don't show off.
listen,
unbecoming.
Hey, excuse me? Excuse me? What about you, Mr. French, when something French pops up and you have to pronounce it in proper French, and then when I say it with my American accent, you correct me? I don't correct you.
Very true.
Yes, very true. Huh? Got you there.
Mm.
One of the few
Okay.
times. Okay.
father were faced
Okay.
with the question of how much to adapt the cuisine of Xi'an to suit American palates.
Originally, when the restaurant was founded, it was all about feeding fellow immigrants. It wasn't about feeding everyone, even though anyone is welcome to eat. But for my father, it was more about his homesickness from our hometown, Xi'an, and just wanting to
That looks good.
recreate that experience for himself and also to share with fellow immigrants like himself. So that's really his motivation, his passion. Of course, that passion sort of changed over the years. Since I joined in 2009, it was more of sharing this food with everyone, because when foodies such as the late Anthony Bourdain went to our restaurant, it really opened everyone's eyes to this type of food, and that, opened our eyes to the possibility of our food being acceptable to people from all walks of life.
When we
When Xi'an Famous Foods blew up, it was such a cool moment for me because at that time it wasn't long after I just came back from China and
Oh,
living
that
in
long ago?
yeah, well, he joined the company in 2009. That was around the time I came back, not too
Okay.
long after I came back. But Xi'an's food, Northwestern Chinese food, was one of the most memorable moments of my time in China because it was so different and unique and absolutely delicious. And this is not a knock on Xi'an Famous Foods, but Xi'an Famous Foods is very good, but the stuff I had there, I think, is even better. Um, but Xi'an Famous Foods comes very close. And to see it become so mainstream for me was really awesome to watch. I was so glad to see Chinese food outside of Chinese American food start to become more popular and accepted.
say Chinese food here in the West, we're usually talking about products of Chinese immigrants tailoring their cooking to suit local palates. General Tso's chicken is the perfect example. The dish's inventor had
So the Chinese last name Sao, mine spelled Tsao, is pretty rare. There's a whole historical reason for that. I won't get into it now. Um, that spelling you'll often see coming out of Taiwan, but out of mainland China, it's spelled Cao. Again, I won't get into that. But TSO, they pronounce it Sao, but it's in Mandarin, it's pronounced Zuo. It's a completely different surname and character and everything like that. Just thought I'd mention. My entire life, everyone called me General Tso and would ask me about, my ancestors making the chicken. But
been a chef for the Chinese nationalist government, and he fled to Taiwan with his employers following the Communist Revolution in 1949. The original General Tso's chicken, Peng cooked 6 years later, borrowed heavily from his Hunanese roots. He described the recipe as heavy, sour, hot, and salty, all flavors characteristic of Hunan cuisine. This early General Tso's wasn't fried, and it was sometimes served on the bone instead of cut into bite-sized chunks. It bore only a superficial resemblance to the sticky, sweet concoction that's served in American Chinese restaurants today.
what's your first memory of General Tso's chicken? Do you remember? It's definitely a mainstay.
You see, like, I never did the Americanized Chinese food because my dad was like a staunch fan of Chinese restaurants and he knew his dishes. And so he liked all the weird dishes that, like, so my introduction is like when you went to like birthday parties or
Right.
you went to other like American households and
Yeah.
they ordered Chinese
Chinese
food,
food, yeah.
and that would be part of like what they ordered.
Yeah, I would say
It would always be lo mein, fried rice,
fried rice,
and
egg
this,
rolls,
and this.
General Tso's chicken, maybe shrimp
Yeah.
and lobster sauce.
and if you gave that to my dad, he'd be like, "Oh, this is just dessert."
I think there's two really. I'm generalizing here, but I think there's two main popular types of what people. No, maybe three, but I'm gonna say two for this. Two types of popular Chinese food in America. One is this Chinese American, General Tso's chicken, egg rolls, crab rangoon, stuff like
Wonton
that.
soup.
Wonton soup, hot and sour soup, egg drop soup. What else? We said fried rice. We said lo mein. Then there was another type of Chinese food that was particularly popular in New York. I'm pretty sure in LA and California. If anything, LA and California is a little bit ahead of New York, but is Cantonese food because a big portion of the first wave of, or maybe second wave of Chinese immigrants into America was from Canton. So that's the stuff your dad is probably referring to in like the Grand Hall restaurants in New York City is Cantonese food. So that's going to be stuff more like dumplings, right?
Yeah, a lot of the dim sum.
Yeah, Peking duck, even though Peking duck is from Beijing, but was popularized around that same time.
Well,
And
they did the same thing like when we opened a French restaurants. We
yeah,
had dishes from all over France,
right,
not just from our
right.
region.
But char siu, right, the roast pork, crispy roast
Oh,
pig,
mugu gai pan.
mugu gai pan, stuff like that. Also the ribs,
Yeah, spare ribs.
roast duck. Those were all, and roast duck and Peking duck are two different things.
Yes.
Roast duck is marinated, whereas Peking duck is not marinated, but served with mushu pancakes and stuff like that. So those were the two, I would say, factions. And then even before that, there was chop suey, which I never had. I to this day I've never had chop suey. There's what else was in
What
it?
is chop suey? Oh.
It translates to chopped bits in Chinese.
Oh, so
and
it's all the
it's like
end of the dishes.
yeah,
that
more or
put-
less. It's like fucking whatever.
Yeah.
I've never had egg foo young until much later in life.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's all the toss up from when you're using a wok, everything that spills over, and they
Yeah.
put it all into one bowl. Okay.
I remember there was this one comedian I worked with for a short time. We were trying to develop a podcast, and he called me up. He's like, "Hey, I have this guest coming on. Their favorite dish is chop suey. You know how to make chop suey, right? You're Chinese." And I'm like, "Bro, I have never had chop suey in my entire fucking life. Just FYI."
That version didn't hit menus
Is there a
until the
French dish that
1970s.
like that's Americanized and that
French
everybody
onion
would
soup?
assume I would?
You do know how to make that.
I
though.
do know how to make
That's when, according to the most popular story, Chinese-American chef Sung Ting Wang began serving his take on General Tso's chicken at
Something.
the trendy
Did he just
Hunan
say
restaurant
that for real?
It did sound like something wrong.
Oh, something wrong here.
in New York
Something
City.
wrong with
His
you.
recipe was
That-
directly
it did
inspired
sound
by a
like that.
visit he took to Peng's restaurant in Taipei, Taiwan. He wanted to introduce Peng's famous chicken to the U.S., and he had some ideas for how to make it his own.
Basically meaning he stole that shit and brought it over.
Yeah.
There's no stopping that though. I mean, it happens all the fucking time. All the time. I've stolen shit, so I mean,
By frying
Whatever.
the meat in batter and drenching it in a sweet, sticky sauce, he was able to adapt the dish to America's idea of Chinese
I'd
cuisine.
eat the shit out of that.
People loved his Americanized General Tso's chicken. Well, most of them did. One person who was quite irritated by the dish was Peng. He opened his own New York City restaurant in 1973 and wasn't thrilled to find that diners had already fallen in love with a bastardized version of his specialty. His authentic
How often does that happen? When the bastardized version gets more popular.
Well, it hasn't happened to me yet. Nobody's,
Yeah, true. No one's like outlived Le Rivage.
so
Definitely been a lot of French onion soup burgers out there.
listen, creme brulee is a dish that, I remember being there at the beginning when it was, when it was introduced to New York and then the rest of the country.
Who introduced it?
Danielle.
Danielle. Oh, Le Cirque?
Yep.
Ah,
It was creme
that's
cata-
you're right. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
creme catalan,
Yeah.
and then he just renamed it creme brulee.
Brulee. Just fucking
But
took
it's,
over New York.
but it's really a Spanish dessert.
What's so crazy is that it's everywhere.
It's
Creme brulee
everywhere.
is everywhere.
But it's like it's a perfect dessert.
It's amazing. An
You know?
amazing dessert.
chicken dish
And it's
didn't
easy.
stand a chance against the sweet and crispy variety in the US, and he was forced to adapt his recipe to be closer to Wang's version. Though I will point out that some version of the story have Peng himself taking the initiative and adapting the dish without interference from Wang. General Tso's chicken has its roots in Hunan, but most American Chinese food originates from a different part of the country. The Guangdong province, formerly known as Canton,
Oh, there we
is
go.
located on China's southeastern coast. By the mid-19th century, wars
That's
and
where my
economic
family's
crises
from
plaguing the region had pushed many immigrants to search for better lives
Half your
elsewhere. Thousands of them ended up in California with dreams of striking gold. California's gold rush wasn't as lucrative as those immigrants may have been led to believe, and the situation was made worse by discriminatory taxes and unwelcoming and, indeed, sometimes violent.
Dark
A little
history.
more than
Still,
that.
many
A little
transplants
dark.
eventually found
It was a
success
dark
as
period
business
for
owners.
Chinese people.
Opening a restaurant became a fairly common career choice.
What was it called? The Chinese Exclusion Act? Straight up. I think that's what it was called.
Well, they wouldn't let them buy the land. They wouldn't let
Yeah.
them. They would no.
And they wouldn't let women in so that we couldn't reproduce. They didn't want more Chinese babies running around the country.
The majority of Chinese immigrants who came to the US were
America.
single men who didn't necessarily know how to cook for themselves. This created a market for Cantonese restaurants that could offer an affordable meal and a reminder of home. As the years went on, in the largest Chinese American communities like San Francisco's Chinatown, these establishments served authentic fare that catered exclusively to immigrants. Chinese
love
restaurants in smaller
San
towns
Francisco's
didn't
Chinatown.
have that luxury and had to find ways to appeal to local tastes as well. They also lacked access to Chinese products and were forced to replace familiar ingredients with
And
whatever
that
was available.
is the secret recipe.
Yeah.
Is the lack of the ingredients,
Yeah.
right?
They had to
Proteins, ingredients, and all that. And that's the consequence to every ethnic food in the United States.
Yep.
From hamburgers to pizza to
adapt. Just
hot dogs
working
to
with what they had.
exactly.
Yeah. Spaghetti and meatballs,
Mm-hmm.
right?
This led to American Chinese food that wasn't exactly faithful to Cantonese cuisine, but still felt novel to American diners. The food that best captured this era is probably chop suey. The name comes from
There we go.
Cantonese tap suey, which roughly translates
Chop
to
suey.
mixed bits. Recipes vary, but today the dish is generally a mixture of meat, eggs, bean
Eggs.
sprouts, and other vegetables stir-fried in a thick sauce. Chop suey is the dish that kicked off non-Chinese Americans' love affair
I never saw that in my entire life growing up.
Yeah, me too. I that's not something I would order.
with Chinese food. In the late 19th
Bean
century,
sprouts.
it became the
That's the
favorite
number
meal
one
of poor white artists
guilty
living
culprit
in New York
when it
City.
comes to food
New
poisoning.
York's creative types were
Really?
known to seek
Yeah.
out
They
immigrant-run restaurants that
doesn't
were
get cleaned
affordable
up
and
properly.
outside the mainstream. In the 1880s, a lawyer of reportedly bohemian tendencies invited journalist Alan Foreman to a meal in Chinatown. Foreman described the chop suey they ate there as a toothsome stew composed of bean sprouts, chicken's gizzards and livers, calf's tripe, dragonfish dried and imported from China, pork, chicken, and various other ingredients
sounds
which I
pretty
was unable
bomb.
to
Yeah, right?
Foreman wrote in his article, the meal was not only novel, but it was good. And to cap the climax, the bill was only 63 cents. Proto
Sounds
foodies
even
were
better.
soon telling everyone they knew about this little-known 4,000-year-old cuisine they had just discovered. Chinese restaurant owners welcomed the new business. These establishments became trendy places to eat, and chop suey was the
And it
hottest
could
dish
charge
on the
a
menu.
hell lot
It
more.
was so popular that many Chinese American restaurants at the turn of the 20th century were known as chop suey houses.
True.
Despite the acceptance of Chinese food into the broader culture, racism against Chinese immigrants was still prevalent in America.
Oh, I think they're getting
Ironically,
into some saucy
anti-Chinese
bits.
xenophobia contributed to the Chinese restaurant boom of this period. The US government passed the
Contributed.
Chinese Exclusion
Okay.
Act in 1882, barring Chinese laborers from immigrating to the country and residents from becoming citizens. The law impacted a huge number of Chinese immigrants working as farmers, miners, and railroad and factory workers, all jobs considered laborers. There was a loophole, however. Some Chinese business owners were eligible for merchant visas created as part of the Chinese Exclusion Act. This gave them permission to travel to and from China and sponsor employees from their home country. In 1915, restaurants became one of the few businesses that qualified Chinese
Yeah, so 1915. Yeah, so I think I was right. Around the late 1800s, all this was going down.
entrepreneurs for merchant visas. Working in the restaurant industry was suddenly one of the only legal ways to live in the US as a Chinese immigrant while having the freedom to visit home, and the Chinese restaurant industry exploded in America as a result. Between 1910 and 1920, the number of Chinese restaurants in New York City
Let me know in the comments below if I'm not mistaken. Middle America dishes like chop suey and egg young are still pretty popular, right? In fact, there's one. I remember seeing something on YouTube. There's one chop suey house in like Minnesota or something.
Yeah, one of the
One of
oldest,
the oldest
oldest
Chinese restaurants in America.
is like Midwest.
Yes, and it's this, dude just as Chinese as me with a full-on Southern accent.
Yeah, but he's
Boggles.
like how many
Yeah,
generations
he's
in?
several generations in.
quadrupled. The major catch was that restaurants had to be high grade to win approval from the Immigration Bureau. Chinese restaurant
Wow.
owners were quick to adapt, transforming their chop suey houses into chop suey palaces.
Is
with
that
yoga moldings and
why
other
the old
nods to
restaurants were
country.
so ornate?
Wow.
Because the old ones
Right.
are so ornate
Yeah,
and
yeah.
beautiful
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah,
everything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And everything new is like, no, four walls,
Right,
tables,
Right.
eat, get out.
Right.
Man.
I had no idea.
damn.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Wait, rewind this.
Yeah.
Rewind that.
Because I don't like for those of you who are not from New York, and I'm sure from people from San Francisco and LA can relate to this. But man, Chinese restaurants,
Were
I remember when
beautiful.
they were huge, massive, fucking beautiful places.
And then I remember the one that I still hold dear to my was the Blue Lotus on 86th Street between 2nd and 3rd. It was just a massive, massive restaurant.
Yeah.
But beautiful. The leather couches and booths,
Yeah.
but deep. Like you were hidden inside
Yeah,
them, and
yeah.
the tables were linen, and it was just everything was to the and all the staff was dressed to the T,
Right.
like almost tuxedo-ish.
Oh my God, every server had a Rolex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Chinese
that.
restaurant owners were quick to adapt, transforming their chop suey houses into chop suey palaces with gilded moldings and other nods to fun.
Yes.
With the Chinese restaurant boom came the invention of many Chinese dishes on American soil. Modern egg rolls likely appeared in New York City restaurants in the
Yeah. So my entire time in China, I never saw an egg roll like that. My entire life growing up, the first time I saw an egg roll was at school. They were serving egg rolls for lunch, and all the kids were freaking out about it. It's like,
yeah.
And they would come to me and say, Brian, you would like this, right? It's Chinese food. I remember looking at it going, I have never seen that in my entire fucking life. The true story.
1930s. The American egg roll has a thicker skin and is substantially bigger than Chinese spring rolls. Beef and broccoli was born out of resourcefulness. While the stir fry of beef and vegetables would have been right at home on a Cantonese dinner table, it would have looked a little different than what you usually see here in the States. The traditional version of the dish uses geilan, or Chinese broccoli. The item wasn't easy to find in the US, so chefs swapped it for a different green vegetable that was readily available at local markets.
Yeah.
Chinese-American Kung Pao chicken is another product of compromise. The recipe originates in China's Sichuan province. There, the Sichuan
So I had this foreign exchange student from Beijing living with me when I was growing up. And we, on the weekends, we would work at my dad's gas station, at the mini mart, pumping gas and stocking shelves. And there was, on Sundays, it was just the two of us. The repair shop was closed and only the gas pumps were open. So on Sundays, we were allowed to order lunch for ourselves. So I remember this, one of the first times this kid was working a Sunday shift with me. And keep in mind, I was 13, he was 15. One of the first times he worked this Sunday shift with me, he was looking at the Chinese menu and he goes, oh shit, they have Kung Pao chicken. And he was super excited.
But then when he got there,
And when he got there and he opened it, he looked at it and he just straight up went, this is not fucking Kung Pao chicken. What the hell is this? He was so pissed off. And he took 2 spoonfuls and he said to me, Brian, this is the worst Kung Pao chicken I've ever had in my fucking life. What is
on peppercorns and Gong
it's
Bao
not.
Ji Ding give the chicken dish a spicy, mouth-numbing quality known as mala. Szechuan peppercorns were outlawed in the US from 1968 to 2005 because they were potential carriers of a disease called canker. While not dangerous to humans, it was considered a danger to citrus trees at the time. That meant Chinese American chefs in the late 20th century had to get creative when adapting Gong Bao Ji Ding. Their take on the dish was much less spicy, with bell peppers and a slightly sweet sauce. Not
There
long
you
after
go.
the peppercorn ban went into effect, Richard Nixon made his historic 1972 visit to China. The
Only
trip marked
Nixon
the
can
first
go to
time the United
China.
States president stepped foot in the People's Republic of China
We got
since
a
the
bad
country was
rap. He
founded
was-
in 1949, and it sparked a new fascination.
What were you going to say?
one of the best presidents we ever had.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why is that?
Well, first of all, he won by a landslide,
Mhm.
like the biggest differential.
But wasn't that all scammed? It was
What?
the-
You even know why he got
something about some tapes,
Yeah.
some shit he said, right?
Yeah, he was recording, but it was the Watergate.
Watergate. Yeah, Watergate. But
Let's not get into this
oh,
episode.
okay, you're right. Right now is not a good time to get into any fucking politics. I don't want to touch that. You are absolutely right. Moving on.
Chinese culture in the States. The American public was suddenly interested in trying
I met
Chinese
him.
cuisine beyond the
Yeah.
westernized
At Le
Cantonese
Cirque.
food they knew.
Oh.
Szechuan fare rose in popularity. This in turn helped make Kung Pao chicken a Chinese menu mainstay in the US, even amongst restaurateurs hailing from different regions of China. Modern American Chinese food came from Chinese cooks of different backgrounds borrowing dishes from their competitors and perfecting them. This is how crab rangoon ended up in Chinese restaurants,
Oh,
even though
shit.
the dish
Okay, another one. Never heard of crab rangoon in my entire life.
Yeah,
until
I think I've only recently had it for the first time, and it was terrible.
yeah, I'm not a fan of crab rangoon. That and shrimp toast, both of them I do not like. Um, yeah, I remember, but you know
Yeah,
what?
let's take a guess why they invented shrimp toast.
Why? You tell me.
They got rid of like, oh, this has got to go soon.
I'll tell you this much. So
Wait, am I doing an Asian accent?
you just
Oh
did.
fuck, no,
Yeah,
this is a
yeah.
Marcel
It's a
accent.
Marcel accent.
I'm thinking of my
yeah,
dad.
Yeah, his Marcel's his dad. He's a
Yeah,
Frenchman.
yeah, he's a Frenchman. I
That's
could
part
do-
Chinese.
No, I
No,
could,
he's not Chinese at all. He's as French as it fucking gets. Rest in peace, Marcel. So you know, every time I see crab rangoon and shrimp toast, I think, or gong bao ji ding, I think of the first restaurant I ever took over in Forest Hills, Queens. It was called Peking Duck Forest. It was absolutely fucking beloved in the neighborhood, and I wanted to open up a Taiwanese noodle house. And this was the time when David Chang's Momofuku noodle bar was really exploding. So my vision was to do a Taiwanese version of Momofuku essentially. And I took money from my dad. He invested into it, and the intention again on my end was to open up this noodle house. But he's like, let's find an existing restaurant and convert it into your concept. I said, okay, that sounds smart. And then we took over, and he said, okay, Brian. So now you have to do
this menu.
this menu and your
your
menu
menu.
simultaneously. I don't know how to cook any of this food. And stuff like crab rangoon and shrimp toast and fucking egg rolls and all this stuff, I have no connection to. So,
Yeah, but unfortunately, nobody else does it. But what they do is they buy all this stuff pre-made.
well, this place did when I
You mean they make fresh crab?
they made crab rangoon.
But
from
why?
scratch. But it was listen, other than the skin, they made everything. And looking back on it, I really should have embraced it more. I took all these things off the menu. Business at this restaurant plummeted because no one gave a fuck about Taiwanese noodles. And it's certainly more, Taiwanese cuisine is more popular than it's ever been now. But this was,
Wrong
15
wave.
Yeah, 20 years ago. And also I wasn't ready to be a business owner. But every time I think of crab rangoon and shrimp toast, it's a very expensive lesson. I remember that I should have been more open-minded and accepted this cuisine for what it is, and it's American cuisine. And guess what? Say what you will about America right now. I am American, and I should have embraced this part of my culture a bit more. But yeah, this restaurant was cool. They made the shrimp paste for the shrimp toast totally from scratch. They made a lot of dim sum from scratch. I kept some of the stuff, but a lot of it I took off the menu. And like I said, it pissed off the customer base in Forest Hills and eventually shut down after.
Wasn't invented in one. Victor Bergeron conceived the appetizer, consisting of fried wontons stuffed with crab or imitation crab meat and cream cheese, for his American tiki bar chain, Trader Vic's, in the 1940s. Trader Vic's
fucking
food
way.
and aesthetic
Wow, I
emulated
did
the
not know
American
that.
public's fairly uninformed idea of Polynesian culture,
I love tiki
while sharing
bars.
few similarities with that part of the world.
Let's go
Instead
to
of
them.
drawing inspiration
Is
from
there a
Polynesian
tiki bar on
cuisine-
here?
I thought there was.
Oh, around the corner
Yeah,
from our.
yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying their name.
Oh, are they part of the?
Yeah, they're all part of the.
Oh, they're all part of the same. Well, there's this one sick tiki bar that opened up in the East Village that I've been to a few times. Opened up my metalheads. Actually, that's where I got that tiki.
Do they
cup.
have food?
No, they don't have food.
Oh.
Yeah, but we should go there sometime.
We want the food.
I have an inn. We can go eat around there first and then go to the.
Oh, we want
fuck.
the tiki bar food.
Tiki bar food. Why don't we just get tiki bar drinks and food somewhere else?
No, don't break the studio.
cuisine, the chain's founder invented new cocktails and dishes from scratch that would feel vaguely exotic to his American clientele. Sometimes it worked. Trader Vic's was probably the birthplace of now classic tiki cocktails like the Mai Tai, a mixture of rum, lime, orgeat,
I love
orange
Mai Tai.
curacao, and simple syrup. The food offerings diverged from the cocktail menu's tropical island themed. A Chinese-American bar back at Trader Vic's named Joe Young influenced the restaurant's cuisine, which is why the food skewed more Chinese than Polynesian.
shit.
According to Victor Bergeron's granddaughter
always
Eve,
wondered about
Trader
that.
Vic came up with crab rangoon while experimenting with wonton wrappers in the 1940s. Even by the standards of American Chinese food at the time, the recipe stretched any ties it had to Chinese cuisine. Even the name betrayed its confused identity. At the time, Rangoon was the name of present-day Yangon in Myanmar.
No shit. I actually always wondered where that came from.
Nothing to do with China, Polynesia, or cream cheese. Crab Philadelphia would have been a more appropriate title. Despite all this, Crab Rangoon was a hit with Trader Vic's customers. The cream cheese and crab dumpling was so popular that it spread beyond the chain and ended up on Chinese restaurant menus across the country, where it remains today. How much have the intervening years changed the landscape for Chinese food here in the States? As part of a new generation of Chinese-American restaurateurs, Jason Wang has a unique perspective.
I grew up in a small town, Michigan. When I was first there after immigrating to the US, there was no black vinegar in the stalls. There was barely soy sauce. There's no lamb, there's no cumin. So you had to get that from the nearest big city, right? So, but I'm happy to say, you know, things are much more accessible now. Things are online now. So we're definitely heading towards the direction where things are more accessible. People are becoming more sophisticated with their palates and being able to enjoy more than just chicken and broccoli.
The influence of Chinese cuisine outside of China isn't limited to the US. As I covered in our episode on ramen, the noodle soup comes from the alkaline lamian noodles that Chinese immigrants brought to the country. It's believed that Chinese cooks in Japan first had the idea to serve the noodles in a salty broth with pork, fish cake, and nori seaweed in the year 1910. In India, Kolkata is famous for its Indian Chinese food. Hakka Chinese traders traveled to the city in the late 18th century and brought their cooking with them.
Ranveer Brar's done some Chinese Indian food. That sounds wild. I'd eat the shit out of that. Probably make you shit real bad afterwards too, but worth it. Let us know if you know more about Chinese Indian. Love to hear more.
Centuries later, India is home to Chinese-inspired dishes like Manchurian, which consists of fried chicken or vegetables in a sweet and sour sauce. India also has Szechuan sauce, made from shallots, garlic, and dried chilies instead of Szechuan peppercorns. Australia is home to a brand of Chinese food all its own. A major wave of Chinese migrants came to the country in the mid-19th
Like when you go to France, Chinese food there is like, what?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's totally different.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's more geared towards a Vietnamese influence.
Oh, very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That's so... If I go with you, can we go to one of these places?
Of course.
Yeah? I would love to see what that looks like. It's so interesting. All right, well, that's enough for...
Now, can I say why? Why did he pick General Tso's chicken, which is basically orange chicken?
Why?
Orange chicken.
Oh, God.
He's the ginger!
All right, moving on with today's episode. My favorite segment. All right. U.S. visa applications from Japan now require disclosing 5 years of social media.
Wait, people come in
history.
here? Yeah. U.S.
wait,
visa
wait.
applications.
Yeah. Wait, I was understanding that the other way. On Tuesday, the official account for the visa branch of the U.S. Embassy in Tokyo posted an important note for those applying for non-immigrant visa or DS-160 for the States. According to the notice, applications must include accurate information regarding social media accounts they have used within the last 5 years. Anyone who fails to comply with this request will be denied entry.
What the fuck does this mean?
The embassy, however, hasn't provided details on how thorough the vetting process will be. Well, listen, I know for a fact they look pretty deep into your history for other...
You keep cutting in and out. Talking to the mic, please.
For other
Yes, here.
Asian countries. Thank you.
Talking to the mic.
Like China, Thailand, they
But why Japan?
I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. Oh, let's see what the comments say. 5 years of trying to work out which bread matches our personality. Shouldn't be the opposite. Yeah, for real. Japan or any other country doing this to U.S. travelers. Why would anyone want to go to America? Come to Canada.
America.
Come to Canada. We're better anyway.
I don't think so.
Yeah, all right. Next, cheese is the most stolen food in the world, says Taste Bud.
Yeah, pound for pound, it is expensive.
in the world, with approximately 4% of all cheese produced globally being I preferred. I don't know. Its high value, ease of concealment, and demand make it a prime target for theft, from shoplifting in supermarkets to large scale heists of artisanal cheeses like Parmigiano Reggiano and Pitchfork Cheddar. Cheese theft.
Okay, let's go
Significant
steal a
industry.
cheese truck.
Okay, all right. Study says drinking a large amount of water every day helps you avoid other people's drama because you're too busy peeing. Oh yeah, I threw this one in there as a joke. Okay, moving on. I forgot. I did a joke on myself too because I totally forgot I put that in there. Check this out.
Perhaps the most literal definition of loose change you will ever see. A semi-truck crashed in North Texas yesterday, spilling an estimated 8 million dimes onto the highway. Fear not, we did the math for you. That's $800,000 worth of coins. The freshly minted dimes were scattered across the southbound lanes of US 287 near Dallas.
Jesus.
Police say the driver of that 18-wheeler had veered off the roadway, overcorrected, and then overturned. Street sweepers were used to collect the shiny coins on the road.
But wait,
Perhaps
they're loose? They were loose? Like they're not packed?
Well, listen, I'm sure I would assume they're packed in rolls, but if a fucking semi flips, I'm sure some of those packs would
Okay, some, but not 8 million.
800,000.
No, worth, but it was 8 million dimes.
Oh, 8 million times. Yeah.
Okay, you times 10. Okay, you take a zero off.
Yes.
You are lousy math. Oh my God.
Listen, that's still a lot of work.
You
Even $100,000 worth of dimes, right?
can't math.
$700,000 worth is still in the rolls. But what if $100,000 worth of dimes? I mean, can you fathom what $100,000 worth of dimes looks like spread around grass? That's still a lot of dimes.
They can't use a magnet?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Are
it's not.
coins magnetic? Nickel's magnetic. Pretty
Yeah,
sure
but,
nickel's magnetic. Aluminum's not magnetic.
I don't.
A man named Joel Berger married a woman named Ashley King, and Burger King paid for the whole wedding.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
In 2015, Burger King sponsored the wedding of Joel Berger and Ashley King, an Illinois couple whose last names, Berger and King, happen to match the fast food chain's name. After the couple engagement announcement appeared in a local newspaper, Burger King reached out and offered to cover the full cost of the wedding as a fun marketing move. The company paid for everything from invitations and outfits to catering, and also surprised the couple with personalized gifts. The story garnered widespread. That's sick.
And who would be pissed? Imagine. Well, did they serve? The question is, did they serve Burger King?
Look at the socks.
No
Look at
fucking
the mason
way.
jars. Dude, I would so do this.
Oh, come on.
That's
Yes.
so cool. Say what you will about fast food. I mean, Frenchy and I don't touch that shit, but I mean, under the
I
right-
would that day.
I would that day. Yeah,
I would eat a shit ton.
Yeah,
and you know it's going to be good too.
Yeah. I agree with you. I would. All right. Let's see. What's this? Limp Bizkit released Break Stuff on this day in 2000. Fuck. 25 years ago. This is when I was peak teenager.
Oh wait, we
when
can't play this?
No, because we'll get demonetized.
25
years. Limp Bizkit. 25 years.
I was teenage. I was working.
You were working here.
I was working. I was working
with some of Bibes.
Wait, what year did you say?
Well, this was 25 years ago, so 2000.
God damn it!
Yeah.
I was 29. I was already.
Yeah, you're the married,
kids.
Yeah. No, I was a teenager.
Oh man!
Bryant Park Grill opts to squat, leaving John George waiting in the wing.
Yeah. Why not?
A storm is brewing in Bryant Park. Bryant Park Grill long-term lease is officially up. Superstar chef John George, I can never pronounce that last name. Restaurant group already has signed.
Hungarichten.
Bongericton
Donjol,
has signed a deal to swipe up its 1,000 seat setup to get to work on a snazzy renovation. But instead of handing over the keys to its high profile replacement, the 30-year-old grill is budging, at least for now, while litigation ensues. That's crazy.
Listen,
1,000 seats.
I've never been to this Bryant Park Grill,
Neither have I.
but listen, that's like, you know, so many chefs are coming back to Midtown. You know,
Well,
this is good for me.
I think I've mentioned to you, I'm thinking of the next mission has to be in Midtown.
Oh,
You like a this?
I like a
I'd be
this.
here a lot more. Okay. Oh, the band Pig Destroyer. Shout out Pig Destroyer. Makes butt plugs now.
why do
So-
I want to know this?
Well, I mean, I was thinking, you know, our merch has been doing pretty decent. Maybe
We are not making butt plugs.
Why not? We should make butt plugs that says ding dong. Remember that? Remember that merch we did? Ding dong sauce. I mean, that
We still need to make that.
I know
actual
we haven't
sauce.
made. Well, that's going to be when we go national,
Oh, okay.
right? Like this is where we start. Sam sauce. We got to start working on ding dong sauce, and yeah, we should make. So you want to get fat butt plugs? It comes in a set,
Mm.
and one says ding.
A set?
And the inspiration is Pig Destroyer.
Ding dong. So ding is small and
Yeah,
dong is big,
sure.
and then you start off with the little one.
Yeah. It's a starter kit.
Start a kid.
You see, we're on the same wavelength.
Oh no.
Fat found in butter, red meat, and eggs reduces risk of dementia
Yes.
by 18%.
Yes.
Let's go, everybody.
Yes.
Eat that butter. Eat that red meat. Eat the eggs. Hell yeah. All right.
All you vegans are hating it, but it's true. It's true.
Okay, now we go on to Frenchy's favorite part of the podcast.
Oh,
The Frenchy clips.
broken bones.
Yes, just broken bones and just shit that makes us squeam and squirm. But
That guy's spine. I just read the.
yeah. Here we go. Oh. Ooh. Why? Why would why? Why are you going to charge at a bowl? Why would you do that?
Drunk.
For our entertainment.
Drunk.
Yes. Oh, I call this deer are dumb.
They are stupid.
Yeah.
They're so stupid.
Check this out. Boom. I'm stuck again.
So stupid.
So fucking dumb.
They really are.
And they got to do it again. All right. I call this whip it. Whip it good.
He's gonna whip his dick, right?
He hit himself once already. You see? You saw
Yeah.
he whipped himself once? Oh, there's more.
Did he break his leg?
Fuck. Oh. All right. Let's see. Someone simulated Chuck Norris versus 100 gorillas.
Not even close, baby.
Not even close. Look at this. It's the Chuck Norris from the Bruce Lee movie too.
Not even close.
Look at that. Look at that. You
Come
see?
on.
Yeah, Chuck Norris just manhandling all those gorillas.
Not even.
Not
close.
even close. There we go, baby. No one messes with Chuck Norris. Fuck yeah. All right. Oh, man. What was your first alcoholic beverage? You've ever had?
Segura.
What's that?
That's his name.
Oh, Segura. Yeah. Well,
Segura.
what was your first alcoholic beverage you've ever had? Where you felt like, I'm drinking now. I'm drinking. I'm having a drink.
Very young.
Okay, but like, what was that drink
It was
that made you feel sophisticated?
my dad. Well, my dad and my grandfather used to pour me wine at the table.
Oh yeah, you're French, so yeah, you've
Yeah.
been fancy from a young age. Well,
Been fancy.
I share this in common with Tom.
You know what you brought up the other day that I was
What?
thinking about?
What?
How you learn alcohol
Yes.
drinks at different phases of your life.
Yes.
Like I remember learning what a screwdriver was
Oh my God.
and feeling so sophisticated.
So grown up.
And I'd be like, let me get a screwdriver. And
I know.
do you know?
Because it sounds hard.
Yeah,
But it's not. It's
you
just
sound-
vodka and orange
I mean,
juice.
you're like, I don't say, can I get a vodka and orange juice? I
No.
just go, let me get a screwdriver. And the night I OD'd when I was a freshman in college,
Yeah.
I had 14 screwdrivers.
14.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
On
It's
top
part
of
of
what
why
you
I,
took.
it's part of why I ended up in the hospital.
Tome.
Yeah.
Did you drink them before you dosed?
Yeah. So I was lit. I was super drunk. And then I dosed. And then I was like,
Bro, you were on your way to a significant problem.
I was on my
You know
way to
that
the
story?
grave.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I did not know he OD'd.
Yeah, he does it on that show. He tells the whole story of it.
Mhm.
He should have been dead.
Anyway, we here at So You Want to Get Fat, or at least I, love Japanese game shows. And they just, I don't know.
No, they're the best.
Yeah, I don't know how they come up with this.
Because they can get away with it.
Yeah. Rotating table. It's more like rotating chair.
Oh, they missed. Shoot! Good. Ooh.
Holy shit. Who dice you do? She's saying. What's she saying?
Why are you asking me?
Oh, I thought you would know.
No.
Okay, next. What else? Oh, dude. Ethanol tanker explodes
No.
in Brazil.
Where is it?
Brazil.
Oh!
Holy fuck.
Oh, that person's.
But watch. So, you see?
Did they escape?
Well,
That blows
look,
up, right?
You see all these cars?
Yeah.
Look, you see that?
Oh! Oh!
Look at this. Dude, so nuts. That's nightmare fuel right there. Jesus.
They're lucky. Well,
Look at how far down it spills. Whew.
damn.
Let's see, what else? Oh, God. You know me and fucking wild animals. This is like a sushi train, but for bears.
No way! Oh, you're dead. You're dead. How are they not getting eaten?
I don't know. I thought it was a mama bear and a cub, because if it was, then they're dead for sure. But it looks like it's just two bears. Yeah, you see two.
I would shit my pants.
I would shit my pants.
I would shit my pants.
I would get off of that ride and it would be covered in, my pants would be covered in shit. Yeah. Deer collides with Ferrari.
Oh, shit.
No.
Oh!
Oh, my God.
Fuck.
Dude, no. Oh, my.
Fucking deer. So
Yeah.
stupid.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Its head came off too. You saw
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Oh, this is in Poughkeepsie by our old alma mater,
Oh, wait. Where was this?
Poughkeepsie, New York.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Manhole explosion nearly misses woman, kids.
Where? Whoa.
Holy fuck. Look at that, dude. You believe that shit?
God damn. Yeah, that would have been bad.
That would have been bad. And look at how far it pushed that fucking slab of concrete in.
Yeah, that no good.
You sent me this. Me explaining to bro how Volkswagen sells Touareg for $300K. So if I'm not mistaken, Volkswagen took over Lamborghini,
Mhm.
right? And I believe this is the Lambo SUV.
Same, but different. But still same. We are same. Same, but different. But still same.
We have to watch the interview.
Yes, love it.
Is this the first time you saw it?
What, the same? No,
Yeah.
I've seen the interview.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
it. I've seen it.
Same, but
But
not
no
the
the same.
God damn
All
it.
right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did making it. And remember, it always gets better. With that said, I'm Chef Brian Sound, not your typical chef.
Frenchy.
And we'll see you real soon.